These are the days of the week. Are you aware of the 7 days of the week? Okay, know the etymology of that. This right here where Saturn, this is the first Pleiades stars, which is called the Gate of God. And this is called the Gates of Men. There's this thing called, when you ask your soul to come back into the flesh, you ask the universe for permission to get a physical body. Everybody's soul enters through Saturn, which is discipline. Okay, that's why they call it the gates of God. The gates of God and the gates of men is the tropic, the common name is the Tropic of Capricorn and Cancer.
That Holy of Holies, you're going to find out in that particular book, the Kabbalah, you're going to find out about the laws of correspondence. As above, so below. As within, so without. As on top, so up under. Those are the laws of correspondence, and everything in the universe corresponds. So even though this is an outer temple of the outside of a man-made structure that's explaining the womb, that's also, the vagina is also a sacred part of that womb also. The melanin sphere, that is an outer way to the other form of the universe. That's the Stargate that the white boys is talking about in the movie Stargate. Now this particular Holy Holies is representing the womb. Man must be born again. Now there's several reasons. The average Christian to say I'm born again, that is a ceremony that really has nothing to do with being born again. The real symbol of being born again is coming from your old self to your higher consciousness. And the way you go through your higher consciousness, you got to go through the Stargate, the black hole. The rebirth of the womb, going back in the womb and being reborn again. So it's also not, so because you can't go back up in that womb only with the penis, even that's a part of sexual tantra, that's a spiritual part of raising yourself up to Christ. Don't get me wrong. The homosexuals in the Bible turned that around and made that negative. But the other womb is the black dot, which is called the Amenta in the Book of the Dead, the Book of Coming Forth by Day, in the Mysteries of Amenta, which is talking about the deepest regions of the subconscious. Also, there's Amenta in the subterranean worlds under the subterranean worlds under the earth. There's a whole hollow earth, and that's the Amenta. That's the white boy, what he called that hell. Hell is the deepest regions of your mind. And based on whether you got the black dot or not, rather, it makes it as whether you in hell or not. The hell that we're talking about is this particular third dimension, and we live in hell. So now one part, getting back to this, one part of this temple, when we're talking about that, we're talking about man must be born again. So there was a certain part where the initiate came in, and at certain stages of initiation in the 40-year period he was there, he later on went back up into the Holy of Holies, which was the temple. But the only way you could go in this particular Holy of Holies is you would have had to have gone into the Holy of Holies of your mind, which is the black dot, which is called the beast in Babylon. It's also called the abyss, which is now parts of your book of Revelations was stuff. That's the book of Revelations is the oldest form of part of the Bible. They took that from the teachings of Tahuti, and Tahuti got it whispered in his ear from Mayat as the form of Sashet. And that particular book of Revelation, some of the terminology in there that you think this negative is actually talking about levels of spiritual development, and your Bible deals with that particular stuff.